save me some.
Hello, my friends. How you doing today? I am doing well. And I got me some De La Soul in my head. I have no idea why. I got 3. That's the magic number. Yeah, I got. If you guys remember De La Soul, okay, you can comment below. Listen, back in the day, I used to listen to a lot of rap music. Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul. What was the other one? It was Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul. But anyway, I don't know. Lately in my head, I got that 3. That's the magic number, and I know that was like a Sesame Street thing or whatever. But then they took that little snippet or whatever, and they turned it into a song that's been stuck in my head for days. I will tell you that I've been having some not altercations with the family, with the kids, with my kids, with my personal kids, but I'm starting to feel as if maybe dear old dad has given them a little bit too much rope to hang themselves with.
You disgust me. How can you live with yourself?
That's what I'm starting to feel like lately. That I'm feeling like they got a little bit too much rope to hang themselves with because they're not all doing what they're supposed to be doing. Okay, it's my personal opinion, but I just think that when I was younger, I'm gonna make this very clear. When I was younger, I did not have a lot of opportunities, okay? What happened was when I graduated from high school, my father said, you got to go to work, and then you got to pay for yourself to go to college, and it was a big old messy thing, okay? And I couldn't afford. Number one, I already had 2 jobs. Soon as fresh out of high school, I had 2 jobs. I used to work at a place called Decnatel. It was in Airport Road in Fall River, Massachusetts. And I worked there for a while. I was actually a cashier / short order cook / dishwasher / whatever the hell else they want me to be. And I'm gonna throw it out there. I absolutely love the job. They used to make surgical supplies, sutures and needles and all kinds of stuff like that. That's what they used to do at the place. But that wasn't my job. I worked in the cafeteria. I was a cafeteria worker, and I liked to cook. So I liked that job. The deal was that I got a job hired as the cashier. And I would go pick up the bagels from the bagel place in the morning. I'd drive to work. And I'm talking when I picked up the bagels at the bagel place in the morning, I'm talking like 4 o'clock in the morning, I'd be at the bagel place. And then I'd be driving to work, and I had to be there for like 6 o'clock, and I'd have to have everything all loaded up and ready to go because work there started around 7 o'clock, and you had to have everything, the food prepared and ready to go. And after a while, you knew your customers. You knew, and they had a full-blown cafeteria there. This was like a cafeteria like you see at a hospital. So it had like, there was choices. There was a lot of choices to be made. And I was the cashier, but if the cook had to go in the back for something or whatever, then I would throw something on the grill or do whatever I had to go do. And it was a lot of fun. And what the best part about it is that at the end of the day, they let me take home whatever the extra food was. And being that I was living on my own and didn't have much money, and I was hustling. I was hustling in order to live and survive. Yeah, it was a difficult gig. Now, the funny thing is that I had credit cards. So I had credit cards, and there was a thing I used to do where I used to stand outside of Shaw's Market and Stop and Shop or whatever, and I would ask like these little old ladies if they wanted me to pay for their food. And if I could pay for their food for them, I carried it out to their car for them. I'd walk with them throughout the place, and I carried it out to their car. And I would use my credit card to pay for their food, and they would give me the cash. This was the cash to help pay for my rent, because at the time I was bringing home about $200 a week, and my rent was $100. Was $100. It was $80 a week. So I was paying $80 a week for rent, and I was only making $200. So it was a little bit difficult for me to pay my car insurance. Luckily, I didn't have a car loan or whatever. But then on top of that, my father's like, "Listen, you're fresh out of high school, and you should go to college. You need to go to college." And I'm like, how am I supposed to afford to go to college? I'm already working. I started working at this Decnatel place fresh out of high school. And then right after that, I was working. I had a part-time job. So I'd get out of work from the Decnatel place at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I would go work at a place called Wreck-It Town from like 4 o'clock. I think it was like 4 o'clock, 4:30 till it closed, till about 10 o'clock at night. That job I absolutely loved. Okay, I loved it. Hey, I'm a movie music and toy guy or whatever, and Wreck-It Town had movies and music. and it was just really cool to be able to help people. They come in and at the time Arsenio Hall was big. Okay, Arsenio Hall was like the big thing back then. So we get like these older people that would come in and be like, oh, there was this artist on Arsenio Hall last night, and this is the song, and I ask them to hum a few bars or sing a few bars or whatever, and I'd be able to identify whoever the artist was that was on the show at night, and they were like super impressed and everything. But I have a big pile of useless knowledge when it comes to movies and music and stuff like that. So the Record Town place was great. So going from one job and being up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then going straight on through until 10 o'clock at night, working nonstop. And then after that, going out with the guys or hanging around with my friends or going to try to pick up girls, whatever the situation was, it was a tough gig. So on top of it, my father's like, oh, you need to go back to school. So what you need to do is, and I'm like, when is it time for this? Okay, this was before online schooling. This was before, we could do that stuff. That wasn't even a thing. I mean, there was no online schooling when I got out of high school, because this is back in the early 90s. So, I'm just starting to see with my kids. I'm like, they got all these opportunities, and it's kind of breaking my heart as a father, because I'm like, I feel like they're not hopping on them. It's like they just announced that where we live, that if you go to a certain school for 4 years straight, you go for free. I'm like, wow, I wish I had the opportunity when I got out of school that I could go to school for free. And on top of that, it's like, they're taking out loans, and it's the drive. I just feel like the drive is kind of dwindling, and it sucks. And I just got done telling one of my children, I'm not gonna say which one because I don't want to get anybody upset, but I'm like, dad took a job fresh out of high school, and it got comfortable. I got comfortable, and that's what the problem is. So I think that the big problem is with kids when they get out of high school. If you go straight to working and you're making a decent amount of money, you got enough to pay for your car, you're still living at home with mom and dad, so you're not paying rent or whatever, and you get comfortable to the point where you're like, I don't really have to go to college. I don't really have to pursue anything else. I got a nice little job. It's a little cushiony job or whatever. I'm doing this, that, and the other thing. I'm making enough to make ends meet, but it ain't good enough. You got to think about. You always got to think about the future. Okay, me, I was always thinking about the future. I was like 50 steps ahead of the future. You know what I mean? I was like things ain't working out. I'm like, okay, I gotta hustle. I gotta make some money. I was no way in hell gonna stay living at home with my mother and father. My mother and father got separated, so it was like my mother didn't even acknowledge the fact that I could even stay with her even if I wanted to. But as far as my father goes, he was moving away, and I was like, I'm not going with you. I don't want to be with you even if you want to stay. Even if you were staying and you pleaded for me to stay with you, I still did not want to stay with you. I letting you go, and I'm gonna go get my own apartment. And luckily, the guy up the street is like $80 or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, $80, you can come over here and you can live over here." And I'm like, it was a single bedroom studio type thing with a little tiny stove and a little tiny refrigerator. Hey, enough for a guy like me to live in. But it was still a struggle. It was still a struggle. And I remember like standing outside those stores and begging these, like, you wait for like and some older women, or older, they get a little nervous. You got a young kid coming up to you and, excuse me, ma'am, but luckily there were some that trusted me and let me do what I had to do. Unfortunately, that kind of backfired on me later on down the road, because it put me in credit card debt. I put myself in major credit card debt, and I couldn't get myself out of the credit card debt. And matter of fact, I'm still battling with the credit card debt. So it kind of sucks. It sucked. I gotta tell you, I believe I claimed bankruptcy at age 18 or 19. Might have been 18 or 19. I claimed bankruptcy. I will tell you, I did not claim bankruptcy. I think it's like chapter 11, chapter 7. I claimed the bankruptcy where I had to pay the money back. I was like, what? I did spend the money, but I want them to stop all this interest. So what I did, I claimed, I think it was like chapter 11 or chapter 7, one of those two, where you have to pay the money back. It wasn't fun. The money got paid back, and I didn't feel like I robbed anybody of anything. You know what I mean? It was just a bad situation, and I want better. As a parent, you always want better for your kids, and that feels like where I'm at right now. I'm like, I got a son that just got out of high school, and I got a daughter that's now 2 years out of high school, and I got another daughter that's like 3 years out of high school, and I want them to have better than what I have. I want them to do better than what I did. I don't want them to be like somebody's what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I've never really had anything that's been like my own. You know what I mean? It's like I would love to. my son wants to do business. He wants to open his own business or whatever. Hey, in my head, I'm like, go open your own business, man. I wish you the best. No, I think every father in their heart they want more for their or mothers too probably. They want you want better than what you had, and it gets a little frustrating sometimes when you kind of give them you trying to give them that kick or that push or whatever, and they like slamming you right to your face, and they're like they look at you like you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Now listen, dude, I had my first child. My wife was like 18 years old or 19 years old when we had our first baby. I was 21 or 22 or something like that. I was with 3 years difference, me and my wife, and it was not easy. It was a struggle. So as a father, I'm like, you got to make better choice. You got to listen. Not that I regret having any of my children, but I'm like, make some better choices. If I could have waited, I would have waited a little bit longer until I was more established. I could have gave my wife a better life. I'm still almost 30 years later, still trying to give my wife the life that I wish I could give her. She deserves better. She deserves better. And I just can't figure out how to do it. I cannot figure out how to do it. As I teach preschool, that is a labor of love. Nobody is going to get rich, okay, teaching preschool. Okay, you might get rich owning preschools. You might open a preschool and then open another preschool and open a multiple. Listen, you might get rich owning your own establishment, but working at an establishment, there's no way I'm ever going to get rich there. I'm not going to be able to retire from working at a preschool. Matter of fact, every preschool I've ever worked at, they don't even give you. You don't even get benefits. You don't even get like you don't get health benefits. You don't get 401ks. You don't get. When I worked at the mill, I had 401ks. I had insurance. I had health benefits. I had all that stuff going on there. I had not only a retirement pension fund. I had all that stuff going on. But preschools they don't work that way unless you work for a state preschool. If you work at a private based preschool, they usually don't offer anything. You don't get any retirement funds. So pretty much when I was at the last preschool, I actually this one is a little bit more of a blessing because I'm making a lot more than what I was making at the other place. But the other one, it was like I was making minimum wage. You know what I mean? And all I kept going through my head is I'm getting up there in age, and I was working with women that were getting ready to retire, and I'm like, what are they retiring to? I mean, yeah, the state gives you some money, but it ain't gonna be enough for you to live. It ain't gonna be enough for me to live. I'll tell you right now, if I was to retire at I think retirement age now for me is like 80 years old. So my luck, I'm probably gonna be dead before I even get a chance to retire. But let's say I do make it to retirement, it ain't gonna be able to compensate for all of the movies and stuff that I buy on top of food and everything. It's not gonna work. I need to come up with some kind of fallback plan. I need to have some money put away. A little, what I like to call, like I told my son, a little bit of a safety net. He got a check not too long ago from the school, a little disbursement check thing or whatever, and I'm like, and it came in. I'm like, why don't you pay off your student loan? I mean, why don't you use that to pay off your student loan, or why don't you use it to pay off your car loan or whatever? Pay off something. Because my stupidity, if I would have received a check, I would go and blow it on something. But as a father and trying to be a little more, put him on the straight and narrow, I'm like, why don't you take that money and put it all on, so instead he wants to go put it all on black. That's his whole thing. He's like, I don't put it all on black. Listen, I am not a gambler. My father he was a gambler. Okay. And I never want to ever put myself in any kind of situation that he was ever put in or still put in or whatever his life was. But, I would never do that. To me, sometimes my wife and my son and stuff and my daughters would be like, hey, want to go to the casino, and I'll go to the casino to watch. You will not see money come out of my pocket to gamble. I do not gamble. In my head, in my heart, I'm like, if I got $20 in my pocket, when I leave this place, I'm still gonna have $20 in my pocket. That's a win. Okay, that's just a win. The chances of you making it big at one of these casinos or scratch tickets or mega bucks or mass millions, right? Or mega millions or all these things my father used to play when I was little. I never saw him win. And know what I used to love? I used to love when actually he would win, and he win like $500 or so. Or one time I think he won $1,000. And he's like, I won. It remind me of the guy from the end of Vegas Vacation and National Lampoon's Vegas Vacation. I'm the win. I won.
Yeah, never won once, and now I won.
I won the money. But I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, but how much have you spent? I mean, you've been buying scratch tickets and playing the cards and tickets and everything. On top of that, the gambling pools, you know, those football pools and all that stuff. He was involved in all of that crap. So what you trying to tell me? You won $1,000. How much did you put into this thing? Oh, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. I mean, we're talking maybe 30 years of gambling. I mean, if you took all of, I bet you if he had all the money that he put into this thing, he probably would have had a decent amount of money. To me, that's just stupidity. Okay. So yeah, I just brought this up because I just had some words with one of my children who are not really children because they're all 19 years old and older, and it's like, use your head, man. At least if dad looks like a screw up to you, at least use what I am and try to make it better. Prove me wrong. I always tell my kids all the time, prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. Okay, I will not hold any grudge against you for making something out of yourself and proving me wrong. But it is a little frustrating as a father when sometimes they do things and I'm like, why? Like I always say, don't. What's the saying there? Don't put off. Don't do what? Don't put off tomorrow. No, don't do tomorrow what you could put off today, or don't put off tomorrow what you could do today. Is that it's around that? Okay. Yeah. Don't procrastinate. Okay. Get your crap done now. You got your college courses to pick out. Go pick out your college courses. It's free. Do what you got to do now. Don't wait till tomorrow because you're gonna forget. And then deadline's gonna come and you're gonna start yelling and screaming at me and your mother that the deadline's here. Yeah, that's just your stupidity. This is your stupidity, okay? Because you're being given a gift of going to college for free. I didn't get that opportunity. Like I was about to say, my father was like, you know what? This was after he found out that I was having my first child and everything. His words were, leave the girl, and go to school. And then after you're done, you can go back and with the girl and you can have your life. And I'm like, no. I'm like, this is my responsibility. Okay, it wasn't just her that made that child. It was me and her that made that child, and I'm going to take responsibility for my child, and that's what I did. I took responsibility for my child. Now, do I have regrets for having my child? No. Do I have regrets for the timing? Yes. Okay, I just gotta say that I think that I could have gave a better life to my child. I could have gave a better life to my wife if I would have just waited a little bit. If I would have planned it out a little bit better. If I would have thought a little bit more. So when I see my kids do this stuff, it gets to me sometimes. But we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk today, and I'm gonna share something with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hey, my subscriber count is going up. If you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you. You guys been liking up a storm, so my algorithm has been going nuts. I'm getting now I'm getting these full blown sponsorship things there from not that I'm getting paid by them, but I'm actually getting companies that are actually reaching out to me and saying, hey, listen, we want you to we want to air our commercial before your thing, and I didn't even know this was a thing that you could do. You could pick your sponsor of whatever it is. I did end up picking I believe it was Bluey. There was a thing, and they asked me if I got an email, and they asked if they could air like an episode of Bluey before my show, or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I teach preschool. Yeah, air Bluey. Air some Bluey. But this is a special little episode called my strange addiction problem. Okay, this is my new addiction, and I want to talk a little bit about one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Yes, one of the greatest horror movies of all time. I put this right up there with The Lost Boys. Because when I say horror, I'm talking horror comedy. Harmony. That's what I'm talking about. Horror comedy. And somebody back in the day told me, it was one of my viewers, and I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm not going to say the name, told me you got to watch Abigail and tell me what you think. So it was a Friday night or whatever. Me and my wife are thumbing through things like I got a newspaper. There's no newspapers anymore. We're thumbing through the list of movies that are playing, and Abigail popped up. And the other movie that popped up, I think it was the Tarot card movie or whatever. And that one I didn't even bother to see. But I looked at the trailer for Abigail, and I'm like, this seems decent. A little vampire girl movie, something like that. I'm digging the concept. Plus, I had a viewer tell me, I'm pretty sure it was like, I dare you to watch it, or you need to watch it, you have to watch it, or whatever. And I'm like, I wasn't really gung ho about it. I didn't even see a trailer. I did not when he had said that you got to see this. I have not even seen a trailer yet. I didn't know anything about the movie yet. I did not even care about the movie. But I will tell you, I went to go see it. Now it's a story. I'm explaining the story. The people are working on the houses next door. They're yelling and screaming, not in English. I don't know what they're saying. Hopefully, they're not talking bad about me. I hate when people talk in different languages and I can't understand what they're saying. But anyway, um, uh, so so if you haven't seen Abigail yet, it's about these like expert how do I put it? Like, they're like expert thieves, safe crackers, kidnappers. They listen. They all got these. They all got their own skills. Okay, and what's cool about this movie, and you guys can comment below about this. I am actually considering this to be a perfect horror movie. Okay, I don't really like to throw that out a lot, but I gotta say, Lost Boys is like one of my favorites. Like as far as horror comedies go, it's got that scary pop, and then it's got that comedy pop. This had the same thing. But what is great about this is the guy that wrote this thing figured out a way to get us to care about every character within the first half an hour, 45 minutes of the movie, which I think is amazing. Because sometimes with movies like this or horror movies in general, you never get to know the characters. You know, it's kind of like they get right into it. Like if you get into like a Freddy or a Jason or a Nightmare. No, Nightmare is Freddy. Jason, Freddy. Where am I at here? Jason, Freddy, Halloween. So you meet the characters, okay? So let's go with the original Friday the 13th. You meet the characters, but you don't really know like their backstories. You don't really know much about them. So when they get killed, you kind of really don't care that much. You're kind of like, oh well, what's that camp counselor guy? He had it coming. He broke one of the Scream trilogy there. He either had sex, he smoked weed, or he did a fancy dance like the guy from Back to the Future there. What's his name? That I'm drawing a complete blank there. Wow. Willard. Man. Can't remember his name. We'll just leave it at that because I'm not gonna remember. But wow, that's terrible too because I love him as an actor. I love this guy as an actor, and I don't even have my phone anywhere in the vicinity. And I can sit here right now with a dumb look on my face and be like, what the hell is it? What's his name? Is it B-A-B? Tell me if you do this, if this is a thing with you too. If you can't remember somebody's name from a movie, do you run the alphabet down in your head and try to think of what their names are? You know, like you go A, Alfred, Arnold, Albert, and then you go B, Bill, Brian, C. And I'm still not going to get it. No matter, I just don't have enough time to go through that. And I know you don't want me to sit here and Crispin Glover. See, Crispin Glover. Yes, when Crispin Glover did that fancy dance, and I believe it was on Friday the 13th Part 4, The New Beginning. Ooh, I hope I'm right on that. I believe it was Nightmare on Elm Street. Friday the 13th Part 4, The New Beginning. Is that, or was it just Friday the 13th, The New Beginning? Anyway, yeah, you don't really get to know the characters, but what this writer or director or whatever, the writer of this movie, okay, or whoever wrote this the screenplay, he was able to have one of the characters break down the backstories of each and every person in this movie before anything happened to them. So you started picking sides. And I will tell you, by the time I was done with this movie, I was rooting for the vampire, but I was also rooting for the heroine in the movie, heroine or heroess, or the man or female. I'm not gonna give it away because I'm not gonna ruin the movie for you. But I was rooting for almost every character in this movie. Like I was like, that's a cool character. This guy right here is a cool character. That girl's a cool character. The little girl is unbelievable. Okay, she is an unbelievable actress. She started out in Matilda the musical. I went out of my way to get an autographed picture for her. You've probably already seen the unboxing of that, and I didn't bother on pulling that out. But I got an autographed picture of her as Abigail because her acting just blew me away. The fact that I work with children, when I see a really good actor or actress, child actor, actress, I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? So some of them just nail it. But what the person did with this movie is they totally made a perfect horror movie. if you have not seen Abigail, it's something you have to see. Now, but the sad part, I'm gonna tell you the sad part with Abigail. Are you ready for it? I love this movie so much. It's now in my top 5 or top 10 movies of all time. Okay, I'll put top 10, top 5 of horror movies of all time. I've watched it about 8, 9 times already. Once in the movie theater, so it's about 10 times. I bought this copy, and then I bought this copy just in case something happens to this copy. And then I bought this copy just in case something happens to these 2 copies. Then I bought the DVD just in case something happened, because these are Blu-ray DVD combo packs, but they only released, they didn't release, there was no 4K. I don't know why there's no 4K. I'm waiting for a 4K. Listen, sooner or later there's gonna be a 4K something, guaranteed. There's gonna be like some kind of special steel book that somebody's gonna put out, maybe a Zabi or whatever, one of those weird companies or whatever, and I will buy the steel book. But I bought the DVD only because it's different from the the Blu-rays, but this is also a Blu-ray DVD collector's edition. You know what I mean? So with the digital codes and all that 9 yards. And then this came in the mail today. From Dalia Vasquez from San Bernardino, California. And let's see what Dalio sent me. Dalia Vasquez. Okay. Let's see, I face there. That's you need to change your damn what the hell is it? My razor blade and my razor knife. And what I got here from Mr. Dalia is another copy of Abigail. So, well, I grabbed my Pink Floyd. What the heck is that? No, that's not what I wanted. So, I got to put this in plastic because these are all in plastic. I think I'm pretty much all set, just in case something happens to my 1 copy, my 2 copies, my 3 copies, and my 4th copy. And then if all goes wrong with that, then I got the DVD to watch. You're probably saying, sir, you've gone off the deep end. This is way too it's too much. It's just you've quad. I don't what I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've overdipped. Well, this is the thing. I think I'm going to try to beat some kind of record. I'm throwing it out there. I'm gonna try to beat a record. For owning the most copies of Abigail. Wanna know why? Because it's a great movie. So if you have not seen Abigail, you gotta see Abigail. The one thing I would like to do here is, let's start with this one right here. And I will tell you that some of these I did buy without the digital copies, without the digital codes, because I was like, you know what, number one, I don't use the digital codes. So like so. First one I opened, no digital code. All we got is the Blu-ray and the DVD, which is fine with me because I'm not a digital code guy anyway. But see here, let's see this next one here that I have in plastic over here. This one is open, and here is a digital code for Abigail. If you have not seen it yet and you want to see it on digital, because I am not a digital guy. Here I come coming at you here. Ready? Here we go. There it is. Abigail. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did we get that? Did we get that? I'm going back again. I'm going back. I don't know how you guys do this. I don't know if you scan the barcode thing there. Is there a barcode? No, it's not a barcode on this one. Sometimes they have like one of those what do you call those things? Deli kiosks. They got a kiosk code or whatever that you could press or whatever, and you can, I guess, automatically download. I don't know. I've never downloaded a digital copy in my life, so I don't even know how the hell it works. But so yeah, there's that. And let me see here. What do we got over here? I do want to keep one of these sealed though. Like one, I think at least one I want to keep sealed. So let's see this one here. Maybe I'll keep that other one sealed. Let's see. Go right here. And let me see. Yeah, this one is sealed. Let's crack it open. Let me depreciate the value of my movies that I'm probably never gonna watch, because the chances of the first one to get screwed up is probably slim to none. But I want a couple of my viewers to be able to enjoy some Abigail in digital format. So I'm going to throw another digital code your way. But before I do that, please hit the subscribe button. Okay, listen, this is what I do. I give away digital codes. Pretty soon I'm going to be doing giveaways. And since Abigail is like one of my favorite movies, I'm probably going to be giving away a copy of Abigail eventually. Here's another digital code for you. Here we go. This is the second digital code of Abigail. If you didn't get the first one, and please do not steal both digital codes and put them up on eBay, because that's just piss me off. That just aggravate me. That's not right. It's just not right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you could just do me a favor, please comment below. Yes, I got the digital code. Yes, I got the digital code. Don't listen. If you're the same person, don't write I got the digital code twice, because then I'm just gonna be like, oh man. I'm trying to figure out a way to make everything fair for this channel. But unfortunately, there are some people that just kind of are not subscribers, that just kind of slip in under the radar. And what they do is they try to take advantage of my kindness, and they take the digital codes without even being subscribers. Now, if you are a subscriber, you get the digital code. Listen, I want you to have it. I appreciate you being a subscriber. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your likes. I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate those stuff. So please do me a favor. Share this stuff on your social media. Whatever you got and whatever you use, share it, because this is what I do. Okay, I'll tell you. I always start the episode with a little story about what's going on in my life, and then I do an unboxing, and I tell you another story on top of that if it's some kind of media that had some kind of impact on my life. But I will tell you, whoever the guy was, and I really can't remember off the top of my head, and I don't want to insult him, so I'm not even gonna try. But whoever it was that told me that you need to see Abigail, thank you, my friend. Thank you. I took your advice. So whoever it was and a long time subscriber / person that comments all the time, because as soon as they said it, I was like, I'm gonna watch it, because I trust this person, and they seem to have the same kind of likes in movies that I do. So this Abigail thing's gonna be something else. So me and my wife actually went to a late movie. It was like, I want to say it was like one of those like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock movies, and mind blowing. I'm just gonna tell you, if you liked Lost Boys, you like Fright Night, you like horror comedy movies, you are gonna love Abigail. I can't get enough of it. I'll tell you right now, I've watched it already 10 times, and I will probably watch it another 20, 40, 50, 100 more times before I drop dead. That's how much I love it. Matter of fact, we still have the water damage going on in the theater. You guys remember that story there? And I finally getting it put together and everything. And I already told the wife, I'm like, I'm inviting the kids over, because none of my kids have seen this movie yet. I put it off for none of them to watch it until I get the theater put together, so we can all watch it together in the theater, because I want them to give me their honest opinion after they're done. I love when people watch movies and then they give me their opinion on the movie, because if I already love it, usually they love it too, and then they're like, hey, Dad, that was pretty good. You know, you really got me on that one. So yeah. So I'm on, what am I got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, and we won't count the DVD. So we're on 4 Blu-ray. So the deal is with this is, if I start to see these anytime on eBay for $10 or under with the shipping, I'm going to buy them. You will see me unbox one of these things, as many as I possibly can. I am literally checking every single day and trying to find these things for $10 or under. Because, and if I could buy them 3 at a time and use my pay in 4, it's like $8 and change, and I'll be able to get 3 copies. And I know what you're probably saying, like, do you really need that many copies of Abigail? Do you really need it? No, but I'm at a point right now where, you know what, I think I want to beat the Abigail world record. You know what I mean? I want whoever wrote this movie to see one of these videos on the. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna title this thing Abigail. I'm gonna title it Abigail. I want the person that wrote and directed this movie, and is guaranteed there's gonna be some kind of sequel down the road, because that's how good this movie was. I want them to contact me and be like, buddy, we got your back. I'm sending you an autographed tutu or something. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I've been looking for something like autographed. Like I got the autographed picture and it's signed by the lead woman in the movie and the lead little girl, and that's all I really wanted. I did get kind of a little bit of a scam on the original one. I purchased and autographed by like 8 different people from the movie, and then I couldn't get it certified. I could not get it certified, so I ended up sending it back to the guy from eBay. The guy gave me my money back, but then he gave me a big spiel about how it got back bent or whatever. But this guy over here, the Melted Movie guy, knows how to ship things back to sellers. Let me give you a little insight on this. If you're gonna return something to somebody that you purchased, make sure you take a lot of pictures. You take a picture the time you got it. You take a picture when you opened it. You take pictures that if it's an autograph and you try to get it certified, you take pictures of either the Beckett or whatever certification thing showing that it says sorry, could not authorize this certification. You get the dates. Make sure when you do the screenshot, make sure your date is on top with the time and all that stuff like that. Take a lot of pictures. I'll tell you, I took pictures putting it back in the package, bringing it to my car. I took a picture walking into the post office with it holding up in the air in front of the post office. I took a picture handing it over to the post office guy. After I left, I got a tracking number with the receipt. I took a picture of the receipt and sent it to the seller, and I still got an email from the seller telling me, I don't know what you did, but I got that picture back, and I can't resell it. How about I just give you back half your money? I'm like, no. How about you give me back all my money? Because when I shipped it back to you, it was in perfect condition because I got plenty of pictures to back it up. So why don't you give me back all my money instead of trying to rip me off? And that's exactly what happened. The guy actually, he threatened me a little bit. He was like, oh no, I'm going to give you half. I'm gonna fight this right to the end. And I told him, I said, listen, I sent him like 30, 40 pictures of everything. A picture of it in the back of my car, sitting on the back seat with nothing around it. I got a picture of me taking it out of the car. I got a picture of me in front of the I got ridiculous because I was like, because number one, I paid $300 and change for it. There was no way this guy was gonna just give me back half, okay? And there's no way that I wasn't gonna take any less than my full amount. I wanted my full amount because I did nothing to that thing. Now, if that thing got damaged during transit on the way back to him, that is not my problem, okay? I did everything in my power to make sure that guy got his thing back the same way that it was delivered to me, if not better, okay? Because I went out of my way to make sure that thing was sealed up and took it there and right away. It was a hot day that day. I didn't leave it in the car. Listen, I took care of that thing. So this guy was he was a scammer. He was another eBay scammer that just was trying to make a buck off me. And it's unfortunate too because I'm sure that he's gotten away with it before. Because usually guys or girls or whatever that run these scams on eBay, they've gotten away with it in the past. So they figure that maybe they're dealing with somebody that was born yesterday, you know what I mean? And they're gonna get away with it again. Not this guy. So yeah, what I did was I returned it, and right after I returned it, I ended up finding one with all I wanted was the lead girl and the lead little girl. Oh, actually, really, all I wanted was the little girl. I just wanted her autograph. And it's funny because her name is I think it's Alicia Ware. Probably not even, it doesn't even say her name on the back of this thing yet. That's how sad. That's sad. That's sad because I don't know what. Hang on, because they always put it in the bottom thing over here. Wow, but my eyesight is sucking wind. Abigail, Melissa, whatever. She's probably the last one, guaranteed. Wow. Yeah. Alicia Weir. I am hunting for anything that this girl does from now into the future, because her acting was that she played the perfect little vampire nut job. Okay, that's what I gotta say. Yeah, and that eBay guy, he didn't take advantage. So yeah, comment below how mental I am. You know what listen, we all know that I got some problems. Number one, I'm seeing a counselor. Okay, I'm starting to see a counselor. So yeah, I got some issues, but if you see this movie, you are gonna be impressed. You are going to be impressed. I promise you. You got the Melting Movie seal of approval on Abigail of being one of the top horror movies. I think of. Know what I hate is when they release the things in 2024, but they're like, it's 2023, because more than likely this is like one of the best horror movies of 2023, but it's probably it didn't see the Blu-ray until 2024, and it was still in theaters in 2024. But anyway, whatever the case is, one of the best horror movies I've seen in years. Okay, right up. I put it right up there with The Lost Boys, right up there with Fright Night. I love it, love it, love it, love it. With that said, my friends, all of my stuff in the bottom is there, like my in my description. If you feel a need to send me copies of Abigail, okay, maybe that's a thing. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe you're driving around and you went to your local thrift store and you're like, hey, that guy that entertains me every single week, he's collecting like every copy of Abigail he could possibly get in the world, and I just found one for $4 or whatever. Hit me up in the comments. I'll get you the information. You can send me your copies of Abigail. I'm gonna get myself some crates and some storage facility things, and I'm gonna just keep collecting these things. Why? It's my new thing. I don't know. It's always something new with me. It's always something new. With that said, my friends, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you each and every day. You're the best, and I will see you later.
You should have saved me some.